that.
You know what we need? We need Isaac Okoro. Keep hitting these jumpers. Let's talk cash.
Yeah, so Isaac Okoro, all of a sudden, I got a theory. See if Jason buys my theory.
We waited him
I
out.
went and looked, and just to see how many games he's averaged double digit, how many times he's hit double digits in the month. So for November, December, and January, he averaged 4 games in double digits. There's been 3 games in February. He's been in double digits all 3 games.
Ray
They're
Allen.
shopping this dude, aren't they?
Ray Allen.
Shopping him? No.
No?
No.
It looks like they're saying, hey, look what he can do. He's a focal point the last 3 games. He looks like, okay, if he is that guy, is he the 3?
Yeah.
And how serviceable are the Cavs in the playoffs with him at the 3?
Well, that's to be determined. I think they would. I mean, they've invested a lot of time and obviously a high draft pick. They'd love for Okoro to be that guy. I'm not ready to declare that he is. I think I joked with you guys a couple weeks ago. I was talking to a scout, and he's like, he stinks. He can't shoot. So it's slow to turn the reputation.
So you
on
do
guys
not
like
think
him.
that they're shopping him?
No, I don't think they are. I don't think they're doing anything before Thursday.
Really?
I think what you see is what you get.
Mikey's been saying that for a couple of weeks. You don't think they're doing anything?
No, I don't.
Nothing at all, or nothing significant. Maybe would they?
I don't think they're doing anything at all.
Yeah, they don't want to go over the luxury tax this year.
Is the Kyrie trade still in limbo?
No, it got
It's officially
finalized
official.
last night.
Oh, it did get finalized last night? Okay, good.
And I just saw something last night, and this was I was waiting you out for this one. I was watching ESPN, right? And they asked LeBron James a question, and he was like, I mean, a dude I play with, a guy that I know I got some chemistry with. I was kind of confused. Was he pissed off that they didn't make that move? Because
Did you see his tweet?
What should he be pissed off about? They tried.
His tweet was cryptic.
Maybe it's me.
Maybe it's me.
Right.
The
right.
Nets
The
owner
Lakers
said
are in
we
this
were going to
situation
trade him
because of
anywhere
LeBron,
but
are they
LA.
not?
Hang on, I got 2 people talking.
Yeah, yo, here we go.
Aren't they in this situation because of LeBron? He wanted Russell Westbrook.
Yes, but that's how LeBron.
It's ridiculous.
That's why
man.
that's the psychopath part of LeBron, and I love the guy. But it's like, give me him. I want him. I want him. He stinks. Why did you do that?
Yeah.
The
Well,
Nets owner also said Kyrie wanted to go to LA. We were not going to get him anything he
Good for
wanted.
Joe
We were
Tsai
going
or
to trade
whatever
him
his name
is.
anywhere but LA. So
Well,
it's
and you know
not
what?
LeBron.
I don't blame him for taking it to
It's
a
Kyrie.
personal level with this guy.
Screw him.
I mean,
here's
I'm
my
not going to let him go to where he wants to go either.
here's my thing with Kyrie. How can you say you're all about winning? Because he's now been on 2 teams that had a chance to win a championship, and he asked out of both.
Wait, 3.
Boston.
Well, Boston he left, but like Cleveland,
Yeah.
that team
Oh,
was
I
going to
see.
win a championship. They could have won a championship in 2018.
Right.
Absolutely. And he went to them and said, I'm out. Like, get me out of here with 2 years left on his deal. He goes to Brooklyn with a few months left on his deal. Chance to win. I don't think Brooklyn would have won, but you can make the case,
Right.
and there's
But
people
they had
who
a
feel.
chance.
Listen, when it was Harden and Durant and Kyrie,
For that little
they
stretch.
were printing T-shirts. in
By,
Brooklyn.
by the way, you look at, I mentioned this yesterday, but you look at the Nets winning percentage in the last 3.5 years with Kyrie and without, it's basically the same. There's almost no difference.
I just don't know how you hitch your organization.
Why would anybody sign
if
him
it's
long
all
term?
about winning, how can you say Kyrie Irving is all about winning when he had a
not.
chance to win a championship on
Is
2
that
different
going to define
organizations?
his career? I think his career will be defined by his personality and not his game, which is sad to me.
It depends where you are. In Cleveland, his career will always be defined by the shot.
Well, yeah, that's not fair. I mean, the macro of his career, to me, in the first couple of paragraphs of his retirement story, I think the bulk of it's going to be drifter, trouble, didn't fit in, never happy, and in general, he was a divider.
Yeah, I don't know what he's looking for. Like I've said that before. I wish him well. I hope
I think
he
he's
finds.
looking for a ring where he's the number one clear
Well,
cut
he
star.
had that in Boston, and he left.
Yeah.
Like that was
He's
him
won
in
2
Boston.
playoff series in his career without LeBron. 2
And now for me,
in 9 years.
from a vantage point of the Mavericks, are you shocked? Are you shocked that the Mavericks made this move?
I am a little bit, yeah. Like
I was like, huh?
I would not hitch my way. I would not want Kyrie to poison Luka Doncic.
That's my fear is he's going to.
And like, okay, so if you're making the move for this year, okay, whatever, it's only a couple of months, but you're trading an unprotected pick. You're trading these dudes. You're trying to keep him long term.
Right.
Good luck to you. I wouldn't do it. I would not. And that's where the LeBron thing, like, Kyrie's shelf life with an organization is like a year and a half, and then it goes toxic. But for LeBron, that's perfect for him. Like, bring him in here now. Let's get a championship. and then whatever happens after that. Like LeBron's at the point he just wants to win. He didn't care. You know, he's
Right.
dealt with Kyrie before. He knows the crazy that comes with it. He can
That
handle
would have
it.
been a hell of an experiment to watch.
Kyrie and LeBron in LA.
With Anthony
Oh.
and LeBron and Kyrie.
Oh no,
like,
they'd be damn good.
I mean, they'd be
They'd be-
sneaking
yeah,
but
into
they're
the
gonna-
playoffs.
No.
Right,
But then they could easily waltz through the West because
They
who's
could.
going to stand
Right,
in
but
their
they could also
way?
lose in the
Golden
first
State?
round because the guys are hurt. Because they're
Well,
always hurt.
if everybody
Yeah.
stayed healthy.
But saying Anthony Davis and Kyrie staying healthy is a huge
I know
if.
we said that
Yeah.
in Brooklyn when they suddenly were ripping off all those wins.
Right.
We sat here and said, we're not worried about them because something's going to happen. It's
Guys, for the
Kyrie and Durant.
Cavs, this is great because now they have a great chance to be at least the 4 seed.
They've already passed. They passed
Yeah.
them last night
Yeah.
into
Right.
the 4 now.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's a half game, but I agree with you. I think now that he's gone in Brooklyn, I think they can solidify themselves as the 4 seed.
They've been a top 3 seed to me.
Yeah.
I've said it all year. They're the third best team. Philly does not scare me at all. If you're
No.
counting on James Harden for
I'm-
anything
I'm-
at
yeah,
all,
it's hard to-
you're gonna be disappointed.
But Jason, let me get your take on this. And Jay, you weren't here yesterday. I mentioned this briefly, but I wanted to get into it some more because we are, and I know I am, definitely, so quick to judge players. We write them off quickly. NBA teams do it. They give up on guys. The reality is that Isaac Okoro 20 years ago would be a rookie in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
Evan Mobley would still be in college. Like, if they're not great right
Well, guys
away.
were going from high school to the NBA 20
Exactly.
years, 20 years
But
ago.
think about this and think about what JB has done. Now, we can criticize his end of game coaching, and that might ultimately doom his time in
Right.
Cleveland. But look at the development, the way Darius Garland burst on the scene last year, the way Evan Mobley, and to a lesser degree Okoro, but still have taken their game, both of them. Both of their games have gone up another notch here in the last month.
Right.
I think JB deserves a lot of credit for that.
I'll take it a step farther and show you guys like Dean Wade and Lamar Stevens,
Sure.
who were cast-offs, who now have roles on this team. And for a long time, the Cavs were not very good at player development. That was one of the knocks on them. Other than Matthew Dellavedova, who did they take and really sort of groom into this great player? Like
Right.
it's there's really
Virgil
not many. But here recently, these last few years, they've done a great job of operating on the margins and working the margins and finding guys that were cast-offs
Yeah.
or passed over and getting a lot out of them. And to your point, Okoro, let's see if it continues.
Right.
We need to see more out of it,
Sure.
but certainly it's trending in the right direction
That's the
here
problem
lately.
with him. Like, just every time I'm ready to say, oh, okay, he's here, because I was ready to do that a couple times earlier this year. Then he goes out and he plays 2 or 3 games where you're like, he's got a bag over his head tonight.
Yeah, but it seems like he's playing with a lot more confidence
I was
right
just
now,
going to
right?
say that. How many times did we talk early in the year where as soon as he got the ball,
Yeah,
he's
he's
getting
scared.
rid of it. He didn't want to shoot. He was playing with no confidence early this
Do
year.
you think that was something JB came to him and said, look, stop worrying, stop looking over your shoulder, just go play your game?
Maybe. I mean, I haven't had that conversation with him. I
wonder if he has.
I think Okoro just made a couple shots and started to feel good about
He
himself.
put that work
Yeah.
in, man.
It doesn't take much for NBA players. They see the ball go in a couple times,
Yeah.
and that's all they
I'll
need.
tell you who else is turning it on. Evan Mobley.
Man, he's playing.
Yeah.
That switch.
I know.
I'm telling you, I always know when big dudes is involved because they throw everything down at the rim. Ain't no layups. He's been getting the ball in his spots, Jason, a little closer to the rim. I could go left, I could go right. But it just seems like he's just more aggressive. Like he's looking for his game.
And I think they've made it a little bit more of a focal point. Mike and I were joking. I forget what game now it was at. He was
The Heat
at
game last week.
Oh, the Miami game. Mike texted me and said they ran the first play for Mobley. I wasn't quite like in position yet and watching the game. And he goes, "There you go. They're watching the show. They ran the first play for Mobley." And you just see them making a little bit more of an effort. I think he's being more aggressive, being a little bit more assertive, and obviously it's working.
Well,
What
I
are his
thought
numbers,
against
Mike?
Miami, I thought that he was, not just for the first play, but he was more involved. I don't know if that was by design or what, but he seemed much more involved that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
I just want him to step up in that role and be the guy that can take over a game. And I don't see him being that guy yet.
Can we look up his numbers, Mike, in the last like 3-4 weeks?
Mobley,
Like
yeah,
what-
of course. I could do
Because
anything.
it just seems like he's becoming a man.
Well,
now.
what game was it where
I
I
hope he
was?
is.
What game was it where I was live texting for our
that was a couple
subscribers?
that
It was the
last
Grizzlies
week.
game.
The which game?
Grizzlies.
Grizzlies, yeah, Memphis game where he really Memphis was missing 2 of its bigs, Steven Adams and
Oh,
Jones.
yeah. So then he sort of
And-
asserted himself.
Absolutely, Mobley
Yeah.
asserted himself
Well,
early.
didn't he do that when against Milwaukee when
Milwaukee, he had
earlier
38.
Yeah, okay, that was the game where Giannis was out. And it was almost like he's like, ooh, here's my opportunity.
Yeah.
And he seized it.
The Cavs have had the good fortune of playing a lot
They
of
have.
teams that are
Especially recently.
resting guys or guys
The
are injured.
Clippers,
They've
and-
caught a lot of teams at the right
And if
time.
I'm JB, you know what? I'm telling our guys that. They're resting stars against you guys. They
Yeah.
think they can still be in
Yeah.
games because at some point it happened.
And to
I can't
that
remember
point,
who somebody
guys-
rested 2 stars and came in here and beat the hell out of
Golden
them.
State.
Golden State.
Yeah.
And to
There's
that
the four.
point, like I think fans and we all react too much game in game. Like obviously for the Cavs, you know, it's a young team that's learning how to win.
Yep.
But beating Washington on a random Monday in February is not going to change my view on what kind of chance they have of winning in the playoffs.
Well,
No, but
it's seeding.
would losing to
it
them
wouldn't.
though?
Not right now. No, it wouldn't.
They had not won back-to-back games. The Cavs, they now have 3 in a row.
Yeah.
They
Long
had not
time.
won back-to-back since the first of the year. The first 2 games of the year they
Yeah.
won, and after that it was win, lose, lose, win, lose, lose, win, lose, win.
Jay, it actually goes further back. Their last two-game win streak was December 19th, December 21st.
No, I thought the big what they do the first and the 4 or the
They beat Phoenix, then lost to Denver, then beat Phoenix again.
Oh, I
then
thought
lost
they
to
won
Utah,
2 in a
then
row
beat
in
Utah,
early
then
January.
beat Portland, then lost to Minnesota, then beat New Orleans, then lost to Memphis,
See,
lost
that's
to Golden State.
to me that's a mark of a it is an inconsistent team.
I look at it like this. Last year, you have to be able to learn from your mistakes. Last year, they was hot in the first half, right? They were up to at least the 4 seed or 5 seed. They go into the playoffs. They come out, go into the All-Star break, come out of the All-Star break, and they're losing to Detroit. They're losing to Orlando. And what happened is you slowly see yourself go from the 4th down to the 8th, and now you're in the play-in game. So you need to.
I do think injuries were a huge factor in
They
that.
were.
though.
They had some big
There has
injuries.
to be,
Yeah.
but you
But they
still,
also look like a team that got tired
you
too.
still
Yes.
need to develop good habits and realize that those teams, Milwaukee can sit their dudes. Y'all 20 years old. Y'all can't do that.
January also was a tough month, just travel-wise, schedule-wise. Every team goes through it where you look at the schedule and go, oh, man, that's going to be hard. It's usually hard for the Cavs in January because that's a really long West Coast trip. Disney on Ice comes in and takes over the arena for 2 weeks, and they're out on, and it just kind of messes with you, and it takes a while. It's not an excuse; it's just the reality of it.
happens. Yeah.
And January is a lot of times they're really difficult month, and it was again this year.